Thank you so much for tuning in to Awakening with Katina Love. We are a spiritual enlightenment channel where we help you raise your consciousness and become your best version. Please subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red button below and remember to click on the bell so that you'll be notified of each and every video that we upload each and every Wednesday. Today, we're going to be talking about a new earth, and we have a returning guest, Kevin Young, who has been very, very instrumental in helping to raise the consciousness on the planet and with inspiring people to live a better life and to teach us about the law of attraction. So very, very grateful for Kevin. Kevin, how's it going today?
Wonderful, and thank you so much for that very generous intro, Katina.
You're welcome. You're
Yes, it's a
welcome.
pleasure to be here as always.
Yes, thanks for coming on again.
Hmm.
So today we're going to talk about the new earth, what that looks like, how we're all part of that co-creation process of creating the earth that a earth that's more friendly and something that we can call home and just have that loving energy come through and
Hmm.
just to uh, live that version of our lives that's more kinder, friendlier, loving, all of that.
Hmm. Sounds like a great place to live.
Yes.
It's coming. I think this year things are really taking off here.
Hmm.
Energetically, people are getting on board, and people like you are helping the mass audience find this material so that they can create the new earth in their own lives.
Yes. So what does that mean to you? How did you start your journey where you were able to um, not so much pay attention to what's going on outside of us, what's going on in the world, all of the chaos, all of the negativity. How did you get to the place where you were able to see life in a different way?
Hmm. Well, that's a long journey. I'd say it certainly wasn't a one day I woke up and switched off the TV.
Hmm.
It was an evolution. I think so many of us we go through doing what we were taught. How you got to take action, you got to fight against, you got to
Hmm.
struggle and all that. And then at some point you do that enough, and the law of attraction brings you struggle and strife and pushing against. And then at some point you hit a wall,
Hmm.
and of your own creation. It's just you don't know it. Most of us don't know this. For me, it was the non-cancerous brain tumor that I got. I was diagnosed with in 2008
Hmm.
after a lifetime of a lot of stress and issues with relationships. And within the week or so of that diagnosis, we were handed our first Abraham Hicks Law of Attraction CDs. And we were actually on our way to a delayed honeymoon in Niagara Falls, which is a 5-hour drive. And so we listened to those CDs over and over
Hmm.
again. And the scientific mind here said, oh, this is nonsense. I didn't have any spiritual upbringing, any religion. And so it was like, oh, so come on, she's channeling consciousness. There isn't even any other consciousness, was my
Hmm.
brain thinking. But the more I listened, the more I realized this is really pure positive energy, and it never contradicts itself. She would be talking with all different people, and then so
Hmm.
we. Long story short is, lots of CDs later and going to workshops and all that, I really began to realize that there really is a whole lot more. We're just a tiny part of this universe. And still, you go through your struggles. I had brain surgery, got through the tumor, and still had other physical ailments and other things going on. But just over
Hmm.
time now, with this nugget of knowing, um, I'm creating this reality, not anybody else around me. How if I let them affect me, well, then now I create that reality, and I can blame them, but it's still my attraction. I'm still the one. So you just prove it to yourself, step at a time. Run into a wall and say, "Oh, darn, there's another one that I got to clean up inside of me." And then
Hmm.
sooner or later, you get to the point where you say, I simply can't watch TV anymore.
Right.
I can't listen to, I feel it now in my body. I've released so much of the toxins that I grew up with and so many of the belief systems that of disempowerment and fear and anger and all of that, that my vibration's high enough now that if I listen to something like that, it really hits me hard. Like I feel
Right.
it all in my body. I'm sure you can relate to that.
Yeah, I can totally relate to that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you get to a point where you just you realize, well, first of all, you can't do it, or you get beat up. But then the question is, why would I even focus on that now? Because number one, I know it doesn't help, and number two, I don't feel good.
Right.
When I do focus, I still occasionally have a Facebook friend or two. I just saw one yesterday who big caps letters. Oh, we got to warn people about this and that, and
I know.
and then, like, you
You really don't.
try to help them understand that you're actually helping the problem. You're not solving it. You're making it worse by doing
Making it
that. But
bigger.
if they're not ready, they won't hear it. And so that's where you got to be really careful as a coach, as you are and as I
Hmm.
am, to not get invested in needing them to understand what we know, because if they're not ready, then we just get sucked down into their energy and we're not helpful to anybody anyways.
Right.
You
That
just
is
learn it
so
the hard
true.
way. Yeah.
Yeah, I can relate to you as far as, what's on TV and, the radio and the news and everything
It's
that
everywhere.
they're just showing you negativity. And it's just like when you raise your consciousness to a certain level, like you were saying, it doesn't feel good. And it's just like, I don't need to know this information. It's like, it's not that we're like trying to block out everything that's going on, but it's like we're not inundated with all
Yeah.
the information and all the chaos that's going on.
Well, and to your point, I've come to realize that if there is something that's important in my life, if
Mm,
there's something that would be beneficial and it has to do with mainstream media or something going on, it'll show up someplace.
right.
Somebody on Facebook will mention something that I need to hear, and then I'll go in that direction enough to investigate and to understand what it is that I need to get out of that.
Right.
I think the biggest thing that people mostly don't understand, who aren't yet on this journey, and I'm hoping a lot will get on this journey, is that there's nothing outside of us that can harm us unless we put our focus on the same frequency, the same energy level, which is fear, powerlessness, unworthiness, guilt, rage. If you're down on that frequency, you're going to participate in that at some level. But if you're not in that frequency, and this isn't about numbing feelings, it's
Right.
not about stuffing things down, it's about being authentically feeling good and focusing there, you literally cannot be affected by those physically, emotionally, financially. It's like you have this force field, this bubble around us of
Right.
whatever frequency we're putting out. And this is, to me, this is what is creating the new earth, as you say. It's people like us who are stubbornly optimistic and focused positively without being, without numbing, pretending like we're positive, but actually really being in fear. When we're in fear, you feel the fear and let that bubble up so that you can release it. And then you get back into the positive energy. And then you're creating this sort of force field around you. And then as people come online and realize, wow, I have this power. I can create. I don't have to be a victim. And the internet and people like you, wonderful interviewers, are spreading this word. Then to me, we've already hit the tipping point. The new earth is here.
Mm,
Like it's just a matter of time as to the mass consciousness comes on board and starts stepping into their own power. And
yeah,
that's when the heaven on earth is going to happen.
absolutely. It's going to be a process. But like you're saying, it's already in process.
It's here now. It's just if we step up and play in it.
Yep, and it's all frequency, like you were saying. So if you're down in fear and, living in fear, then you're not going to experience the new earth. You're going to experience what's perpetuated and
Yep.
what's going on out there. So if you're
Yep.
putting your energy out there, that's what you're going to experience. But if you tune into yourself, if you meditate, if you go within, if you put your energy and your focus on things that are positive, you say your affirmations, meditate, and, whatever
Mm.
ritual works for you,
Yes.
um, then you're going to create more of that. And as time goes on, you find peace within yourself and
Mm.
you vibrate at a certain frequency, and then that's where your new earth comes in at.
That's right.
That's the world that you're creating for yourself. It's
Yep.
all mindset.
It's all
It's all,
mindset.
it's
It's
all
all mind.
frequency. Yeah, yeah,
Right? There's no real physical reality. It's sort of an optical illusion of perception, of vibration, of quantum physics. we really are the master and commander of our worlds.
We are. We are. You know, I was thinking about Abraham, one of their talks, how they were saying Esther had went to like a workshop or a meeting, and she said they were meditating. I think she got there late or something, or she was looking through the window, and she's like, Abraham told her everybody was levitating, and she's like, no, we were just being still. Everybody was just still, and it's like, no, everybody was levitating. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but I remember um, them talking about. I don't know if did you hear something about
I
that?
haven't heard that one, but I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, even though we can be physically sitting on the ground, it's like your energy and your spirit has levitated
Yeah.
and is, raised up to a different frequency, a higher vibration.
Yep. That's the ascension process that we're all
That
going through
is,
at some level.
yeah, absolutely. So if someone wanted help to further get into this new earth and how they can shift their mindset and live in that pure positive, can't talk here,
I
pure
hear you.
positive energy,
Yeah.
how would they reach out to you?
Oh, sure. You can. Our website is personalsuccessprograms.com, and there's a contact form on there. You certainly can leave us a message and get back with you. In order to be involved in some of the things that I'm working on specifically, I'm working with people who are doing this kind of work in a more, I'm now focusing more on those who are really pushing the leading edge, as it were, in terms of channeling. Channeling simply being the open to the flow of consciousness, and as you were saying, pure positive energy is what channeling is. Everybody channels on and off during the day, but usually it's a tiny amount. People like Esther Hicks turn it on all the way,
Right.
right, when they're in that trance. But anybody can do it, and now this is my joy, my passion. I'm having the most fun in my life is people who are ready to step into receiving their own messages and possibly delivering for other people if they want to do it as a business. And so I call that channel coaching. And
I love it.
so yeah, and it's been doing it for a little under a year. Specifically, I've just combined the coaching and the channeling that I support, and the business tech that my background is business and tech, all into one package. And now I'm doing this pretty exclusively. And it's a lot of fun. And then people move so quick when they're ready to open that channel. So
Yeah.
if somebody wants to know about that, they can go to channel and then coaching.com, channel-coaching.com. And that'll just take us to the page on our website where they can learn about that.
Beautiful. So someone's just starting out, they're just getting into entertaining that idea of a new earth, even though Eckhart Tolle talks about this. Do you know when Spirit put in my spirit back in December to do some podcasts, to do some of these videos here on Awakening with Katina Love about this? I didn't even know that Eckhart Tolle had a book
Wow.
about a new earth. It's
Wow.
weird. I mean, I know he has so many books,
Yeah.
but I hadn't checked that out. And I just realized that he wrote a book about it.
Well, it's interesting.
So,
That was actually probably the second really new age book that I read right before learning about the law of attraction. When Suzanne and I met, I was studying The Power of Now, which was his first, big foray into the mainstream, which talks about getting into the now moment and a lot of things. A New Earth was the follow-up, and I was reading that when Suzanne and I met, and my wife now, back in 2006, I want to say, or 2005. So it had a lot of meaning. It was sort of like maybe what they call it, a premonition of things to come. He knew it was coming,
yeah.
and here we are.
Talk about channeling.
Love
He
it.
got a big time download, huh?
Yeah, I think
Sounds
he
like
still
it.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
he's quite
pretty
a guy.
powerful. It's pretty powerful. So we're an extension of that new earth. We're here to, keep spreading that word and spread the good news and let people know that we are creating our own reality. So we might as well
Yes.
create the earth, the life, the reality that we want.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Really, all you got to do is focus, as you said, on going within and getting into present moment time. Right, instead of future or past, which is the brain thinking, get into the now moment, meditate to relax the mind. Deep breathing has been helpful for me. Breathe into the heart space, breathe fully, push out the belly, and then focus there and just very deep breaths in and out to get, and feel the energy flowing through the body. And
Feels so good.
the other things I like to tell people real quick is water.
Yep.
Okay, I drink about 10 of these 16-ounce glasses a day. Put sea salt, a little pinch in each one of them, makes the cells absorb it. I was told that in a channeling session. And then
Nice.
move your body around. You don't have to exercise strenuously, that's the word, but move your body regularly. Do those 3 things, and you'll start to prepare your body to tune into the vibration that your mind is already going to, because you want to kind of keep them together.
Yeah. It's a journey, isn't it?
Every day.
It's fun. Absolutely. So, Kevin, thank you so much for coming on and being a guest and sharing your perspective on the New York.
Always a pleasure, Katina. Thanks so much for having me.
You're welcome. Namaste.
Namaste.